All right. So let's, I guess it's like time to get into reactions. Now, there's a track that I am gonna kick like the reactions off with. This track, it's like, so it's in Northern Exposure, and I've heard it before, but like, you know when you hear it in a mix and you recognize a moment that you're like, I freaking love that, but you may not really be like, remember exactly how the track goes or listen to it outside of the mix context. That's how I feel with this track, because, okay, so the track is, it's Kites. No, the track is Kites. It's by a group called Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is the artist, the producer. Kites is the track name. And why I'm so stoked on this track is because, you know, let's just go to Discogs real quickly. So why I'm so stoked on this track, Kites by Ultraviolet. Just pulling up Discogs. Okay, sick. Is because, so it's right here, right? Fantasy Flight Part 1. That's the one I think that's included in the mix. And where is it included? Probably my favorite moment in all of Northern Exposure, which is, so right here's Northern Exposure. It's probably my favorite moment in Northern Exposure. Oh my gosh. You go from Morgan King's I'm Free, the minimalist mix, and then it goes into another version of Morgan King's I'm Free, which is the full-length La Serena mix, and then comes in Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is the artist, and the track is called Kites. Now, this track was originally officially released in 1990, and I read that it gained fame, right? It gained fame when Sasha would play it at Shelley's. And to me, like, Shelley's to me is like the original Yankee Stadium or something, like the Polo Grounds, or like, I don't know what something similar to it is like in England or Europe even. It's not like the Colosseum or something like that. It's not like gladiatorial, but I'm just saying it's like when I think of Shelley's, I'm like, this is one of like the first arenas for progressive house. Super progressive reaction, Ultraviolet Kites from Northern Exposure. Let's go. This track, 1990, I love. When do you hear a freaking track like just come in like the melody, just like there were no rules. It was 1990. There were no rules, and what you get is this total originality. It's like just there's nothing to base this off of, so it's just off the dome, like it makes sense. It makes sense why tracks don't sound like this today, because so many generations of producers have looked back on what they like and don't like, and honestly, I think that's kind of why you have stuff that sounds really, really similar today, as opposed to, you know, before progressive house was even a genre, what was considered progressive music, everything sounded so freaking different. It's just cool to think about. I'm gonna get back to the track. dude, the lyrics are probably, it's so rare for me, probably my favorite part of the entire track. Like, oh, I love that. I love that comment. Outro structure we have today makes it easier for mixing. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. This is why we live stream. The knowledge comes in. Jean-Michel de Shazer. The song samples Bobby Bird's Hot Plants from 1987. Same drum sample used in Halcyon by Orbital. Dude, no way. That's sick. Okay, I'm going to add that to the reaction list. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, wow. And George Halcyon also has a sample from It's a Fine Day. That's so sick. Thank you guys for literally teaching me all this. It's interesting because we just listened to Escape Driving to Heaven, which has one of my all-time favorite vocals, but I'm trying to read upside down on what the track looks like. Oh, wait, maybe if we go to right here, 1 second. Maybe if we go back to Ultraviolet, Kites. Who is this vocalist? Oh my goodness. Okay. Her name is Suzanne Radigan. Suzanne Radigan these are my favorite vocals and lyrics of all time. I am going to be looking at more of her work later. Let's get back to it. This is my favorite part. Okay, right? Imagine you're like a piece of fruit in a blender and you've already got diced once. That little breakdown right there into that groove is just like God pressed the freaking blend button again and sent me through it again. Like that was that was amazing. like, could you imagine, like, when this was fresh in 1990, what it must have been like on that dance floor? Dude, I would be in rapture. Like, no questions asked. I would be losing my mind, dude. Such a sick track. To me, it's the track that just it's Sasha going back in time. And I say Sasha, I guess Sasha and John, but I heard that like this track was specifically picked by Sasha. I have no idea. I don't even know what's true or not. But Sasha and John going back to bring us forward like great DJs do. So yeah, that's a review of Ultraviolet Kites. Thanks for watching that. Like, what should we, dude, 1990, exactly, George. I'm like, this is old school, but there's still elements, I think maybe in the melody, and also like, dude, those percussion, like that breaks, like whatever that was sick. And I think like would still be unique, obviously, with like modernizing a little bit, but it would still work like come 2000, 2000, like that thing's like it's dicing. But yeah, what an epic track.